Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you how I made these camarones a la diabla, and that translates to deviled shrimp. Kind of a scary name, but these are so easy to make and they're so delicious, and I just have to say this is my favorite recipe that I've ever shared with you guys. So if you love spicy foods and you love seafood, then you're going to love this dish, so keep on watching. The first thing we're going to do is thaw our shrimp in some cold water. I'm using frozen shrimp that have already been peeled and deveined, and they still have the tail on. I like them with the tail on because I feel like it just adds a little bit more flavor to the sauce, but you can buy them with or without. Anyway, I'm just throwing my hand in here, tossing them around, separating them because they kind of get stuck together when they're frozen. But yeah, this should take about 20 to 25 minutes, give or take. And then we're going to get started on our sauce. I'm going to heat up some oil, and then I'm going to throw my onions in there and my tomatoes in there. And that's going to be about 5 minutes or so until they get nice and soft and a little bit translucent and fragrant. And then we're adding our dry peppers. I'm adding a mixture of chiles de arbol and chiles guajillo. The chiles de arbol is what's going to give this dish its real spicy factor. And the chiles guajillo are just going to give it a little bit more depth of flavor. I also threw my garlic in there at the same time. And these are only going to be in here for about 2 to 3 minutes or so. We just want them to get a little bit soft, a little bit toasty, but we do not want them to burn, so keep your eye on them, because if they do burn, then they are going to make your sauce super bitter, and we don't want that. I also want to mention that I de-seeded and deveined my guajillo peppers, but I threw the chiles de arbol in as is. So once everything looks nice and toasty like this, we're going to blend up our sauce. So I'm throwing all of this into my NutriBullet. You can use your blender, your food processor, whatever you have. If your pan has some juices and stuff, you want to make sure you throw that in there too. You don't want to let go of any of this flavor. Also going to add our chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. The chipotle peppers in this sauce are just chef's kiss. They make the sauce. I love chipotle. Anyway, you want to make sure that you're actually picking out the whole peppers, because there's like onions and other stuff in this can. So just make sure you're getting the actual chiles. After that, we're just going to blend this all up. Look at the color of that sauce. It's so pretty. My mouth is watering just thinking about this sauce right now. FYI. Anyway, so now I'm just heating up my butter in a pan, and I'm adding my minced garlic. I use the pre-minced kind because I was running out of garlics, but use fresh garlic always if you have it. It's so much better. And then we're just going to add all of our shrimps in here in one layer if possible. I could have used a bigger pan so they wouldn't be that crowded, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to cook these. I need to stop saying anyway, huh? Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm going to cook these about halfway through before I add my sauce. And I'm also going to season them generally with some black pepper and some salt. That's all the seasoning I'm going to use on my shrimp. Don't worry about it. You can use other seasonings if you like, but salt and pepper is all you need for this. It's delicious. So once they've cooked about 2 minutes on one side, I'm going to flip them all over one by one. It's kind of tedious, but you want to make sure that they're all getting the same attention and the same amount of heat. And yeah, as you can see, the tail's still going to be a little bit gray. They're not fully cooked through yet. We're only cooking them halfway through. And then I'm giving them a little toss here because I love to stir. I like to stir everything up. I can't just leave it alone and let it be. And then we're going to add our sauce. And then we're going to stir that in. Make sure all of our shrimps are coated in this lovely sauce. And then in a minute here, I'm going to add a little bit of water just to loosen up the sauce a bit, because I want it to be more saucy. You know what I mean? Add more or less however much you need. I also want to mention that I only used about 2 servings of shrimp, but for the amount of sauce that you have, you can afford to add a couple more servings of shrimp in there. And as you saw, I seasoned with some chicken bouillon because I just love the flavor of chicken bouillon, but you can use just salt if you prefer. And we're just gonna let this bubble for 2 to 3 more minutes, just until the shrimp are fully cooked through, and then we are all done. Wasn't that so easy? I hope that you try this recipe out. I hope that you love it as much as I do, and I hope that you start sweating from how spicy it is, because that is the goal. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and follow me on Instagram for more food content, and I'll see you next time. Bye.